Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Living Nishmasim Miros Ruspas Mordechai. Zchus ben Akiva Simcho ben Fego. Start off with a few pictures. Chaverim dispatcher. He doesn't have a name, but he has a name. Base 67, doing the daf on the flight to Detroit Erev Shabbos. See, he has the daf. The guy next to him, I don't know what he's doing. It's something different. Yeah? See? You have to be. This is Gil Siegler learning the daf with his grandkids. The Hano, if you have a grandchild, you know what this is. On the lap. Mamish. Oilum Haba and Oilum Haba together. Sorry, you guys don't know yet.
Why are you rubbing it in?
Bezer Shem? You're still young. Avremi Coane. We love Avremi. Where's Avremi? Is he here today? Not here. He's the one that did all the programming for the new screens. Bezer Hashem today. The very first yeshiva. Reshit. Going to speak to the Reshit guys. Try to convince them. And then Levatora. If anybody knows Levatora, they asked me to speak, and then I forgot when, how, where. Brisk. It's coming soon. Coming soon, believe it or not. Coming soon. Rabbi Isai, today is exactly 2 years to the day that we started Maseches Brachos. 2 years into Shas. Yeah, it's the same day. Chacham Batata. How long have you been in the shir? The day starts last night. It goes into today. We have Chacham Chelim here, Rabbi Isai. Come, Chacham Chelim, get to the front here. Now you don't want to. Okay, I don't want to be Mivaish you, Barabim. I want to be Mivaish another person here, Barabim. You know it's coming, Noam. You know. This. Oh, what are you showing me? Here, put that on. You want to do it. Real loud. This is Murad Nakash's kid, I think. Let's hear it. No, I saw it before, not anymore. Let me know what's off.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
So, Givaldic. Okay.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
Train them young. That is Torah. You want to know what Torah is? Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Okay. And then you're going to have the guy said, Eli said, I think it's Daig in his words, he said that Torah is good morning, Rabbi Isai, but some of the guys are going to take it seriously, so I want to make him a cha. Okay. That guy that makes the horrors, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. I don't know if I was muchach to say it or not, but okay, whatever. Rabbi Isai. Huh? Tomer said, no, but this is not about you. This is not about you. And I'll explain. On Friday afternoon, I went to the Merkaz. Tomer said he's going to be there. I wanted to see if he's sitting there on this. And this is Tomer over here. So last night, we're coming back from the Bar Mitzvah. And I tell Noam, I said, Tomer went out to the Merkaz. He got 8 people to join the shir in 2 hours. 8 people. You know what Noam told me? But he's so normal. Yeah, he is so normal. You hear what's going on here? And this morning I was thinking about it. I was thinking, yeah? Which one? This one? We got to do this all over again. This is not Hashem. It's on. Green. Solid green. Very amazing stuff. The sign-up so far for RBS, London and Flatbush, 100 people each. Monthly Kinek at 75 people. Toronto, 60. 5,000, I'm a little surprised. 50 people. I think we can do better than 5,000. Miami, Chicago, Mamish, unbelievable, doing great. 30 people. Miami, 30. Manchester, I think 30. Los Angeles, 20. Waterbury, 20. Montreal, 15. Vienna's going to beat Chicago soon. Okay. So the mice at the end of the day, our boys side, today's the final day for the push from the Sets and Gila. Grab your box. Oh, here. You want to know, there's another normal guy. Maybe not as normal as Tomer. Avi Kamiansky. He has like 4 offices. He did start the song, Tomer's a big tzaddik. I don't know how normal, but he came over to me, he said, I'm going to Chicago, I'm I'm going to be by the Halacha Summit. Hundreds of people come from all over the country to Chicago this year. And he wants to man the booth. So if you want to help a man in Chicago, let me know, let somebody know. But here's another normal guy going to be Mavayishim. Noam Fix told me last night, every girl that comes to Torah with devora, on condition that the father does the daf. Unbelievable what's going on. Let's stay there. So, you tell your friend, go to join.yomi.com. Join.yomi.com. And you go to growtheshir.com. And finally, I haven't mentioned this. I didn't mention this in a very long time. But if you want to be part of this Gemara giveaway, be part of the Zchus, be part of the $25, go to mdysponsor.com. And I think Mendy wants to sponsor Maseches Moed Katan coming up. But if you want to chop it away from him, it's only $25,000 for the entire Masechta, right, Mendy? I know what you're thinking. You didn't say anything, but I know what you're thinking. All right. Parnas HaChodesh for the Koilel. This is Chayim from Lakewood. Lili Nishmas, Yehושע, Arya, Leyb, Coane. That tzaddik that was just nifter, 23 years old. Ben Yibadl Chaim, Yonathan Chaim, Zechron Levracha. Maseches Taanis is dedicated by the Kessler and Davis Families. Refuah shleima for Miriam Esther bas devora. Amen. Parnas HaChodesh, the Hanas Brothers, in honor of the Hanasabzadeh and Krispin, Benazera Families, and Shlomo Lalezarian for inspiring us to join MDY. Parnas HaChodesh, in honor of RL 97, Akiva Tepper, for introducing me to Rebelli's Daf. Parnas HaChodesh, Daniel and Tzirel Coane. Zchus, for Refuah shleima for Gavriel, Binyamin, Ben, Tzirel, Fruma. And thank you, Daddy, for always inspiring me and for asking me to join you in studying Daf Yomi Taanit. I have really enjoyed doing it with you, and may we continue to learn together. Love, Mordechai. All right. Huh? That's who it is? Who's the guest from Givat Zev? Who? Who's from Givat Zev? Raise your hand. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. That's your son? Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Welcome. Tell the Ilam your name out loud. From Givat Zev. Chaim Jurasel is in English. All right, Givaldik. Rabbi Sai, almost the last daf of the Masechta, Daf Lamed today. We're holding 4 lines from the bottom. It's the middle of a sugya, but we're going to go over it real quickly. Tanya Idach is basically the same exact thing as we learned up until now. So we had a machlokes Rav and Shmuel. If, let's say, Tisha B'Av falls out on a Tuesday, can you wash your clothing? Could you take a haircut Wednesday, Thursday, after Tisha B'Av? Shmuel says no. And the Gemara has to kash on Shmuel. And then the Gemara says, well, it's actually machlokes Tanaim. So Shmuel is in good company. He has at least 2 out of the 3 Tanaim that he could go according to. Now, I made a little chart here. I hope it's not more confusing than without the chart. But it goes like this. This represents 4 weeks. From Sunday to Shabbos, 4 weeks. Remeir holds that you're not allowed to take a haircut from Rosh Chodesh. Remeir is green, so you go follow the green line from Rosh Chodesh all the way to Tisha B'Av. That's Shittas Remeir. You have Reb Shimon Gamliel who says you cannot take a haircut the entire week of Tisha B'Av, purple. So even if Tisha B'Av falls out in the middle of the week, you can't take a haircut or wash your clothes after Tisha B'Av for the entire week. And then you have Shitas Rebbe Yehuda that's right over here. He says all the blue is Asr. In other words, from the beginning till the end, everything is Asr. You can't take a haircut for 30 days straight. Says the Gemara, V'tany Yidach. V'noyeg Evel miRosh Chodesh v'ad Taanis. Divrei Rebbe Meir. So Rebbe Meir says from Rosh Chodesh till the fast day is Asr. Rebbe Yehuda Omer Kol Chodesh Kulay Asr. So Rabbi Yehuda holds that it's asur to take a haircut and wash your clothing even after Tisha B'Av. That would be similar to who? To Shmuel. Shmuel says after Tisha B'Av is asur until the end of the week. It's not exactly. Rabbi Yehuda is even more machmer till the end of the month. At least he has something over here. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Omer Einay asur ela oisa Shabbos Bovad. So Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, who's in purple, says that the entire week of Tisha B'Av is Asr, and that's exactly what Shmuel says. What was that? Oh. You had to show that to me now?
Sorry.
Don't worry, there's one other guy that I got for you. Thank you. We'll shmooze later, no? Or you want to shmooze now? Okay. Hamish, you guys remember when I was stuck in my house by myself and it was just me and Avi? Avi was the only guy allowed to speak on Zoom. And all of a sudden he'd pop in with his jokes. Sometimes they're on color, sometimes not. Okay. Videos, yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, this is Baruch Hashem, we only had 1,000 people then. Nothing else. Okay, so anyways, Reb Shimon Gamliel says the entire week. That's Mamish Shmuel, Shita Shmuel. Shmuel says that you cannot take a haircut the entire week, even after Tisha B'Av, even if it's 2-3 days later. Givaldik. Says Rabbi Yochanan, in fact, you're not going to believe it, they all got this source from the same exact pasuk. T'chsiv. Vishbati kol mesoisa. Vishbati in Hebrew, shvita. Stop. Stop work. Stop. Vishbati kol mesoisa. All the simcha. I'm going to stop all the simcha. When? Chaga. All the Yom Tovim. Not going to be any simcha. You're not going to have Chanukah and Purim. Nothing. I'm going to stop it all. Chodsha. The months, the Shabbata, and the Shabbosos. So you have here 3 things, and each Mandamar, each Tana grabbed the word and went with it. Mandamar, Rosh Hashana, Taanis, top of Amud Aleph. Mei Chaga, it says Chaga. What's Chaga? Chaga is a Yontif. Rosh Chodesh is a Yontif. So he says, Remeir says, it starts from Chaga, from the Yontif, from Rosh Chodesh, all the way to Tishva. Mandamar Chodesh Kuloi also, that's Rabbi Yehuda. Mechadsha, it says Mefurish, the entire month, all of the blue is also in haircuts and washing the clothes. And Reb Shimon Gamliel says only that week, Mishabata, it's week. Now, listen to this. Omar Rava, says Rava, halacha ki Reb Shimon Gamliel. What does Reb Shimon Gamliel say? The entire week. This is Rava talking. The Omar Rava, the same Rava says, halacha Rabbi Meir, that it's also from Rosh Chodesh until Tisha B'Av. On the one hand, he says, now this is Rava, this is not his Talmidim. Rava says, the halacha is like Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, it's also the entire week. It's also the halacha like Rabbi Meir, it's entire from Rosh Chodesh, also from Rosh Chodesh all the way to Tisha B'Av. Not even the whole week, up until Tisha B'Av. What do we do? L'chayr, it's a contradiction. Says Gemara, no, he explains. V'tarvayu l'kula. What he's trying to tell you is we're going to go Likula. So let's see it outside for a second. Basically, he's saying we're going up until Tisha B'Av, not past Tisha B'Av, like Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir says it's up until Tisha B'Av, not like Rabbi Shimon Gamliel that says you go past Tisha B'Av. So I'm allowed to take a haircut the following day by Chatzos, like we spoke yesterday. But also Likula, that it doesn't start from Rosh Chodesh, it starts from Sunday, from the beginning of the week. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. Rabbi, before you catch him on a contradiction, he's explaining himself. I hold like both of them, but Likula. Up until Rosh Chodesh, not until the end of the week, and from the beginning of the week until Tisha B'Av, and that's it. Did I say Rosh Chodesh? What did I just say? Let's again. Up until Tisha B'Av. Up until Tisha B'Av, not past Tisha B'Av, and from the beginning of the week. So it's just this part, like Reb Meir and like Reb Shimon Gamliel, but we don't start from Rosh Chodesh, and we don't end on Shabbos. Those are 2 chumras. We don't do that. Says the Gemara. If I would say just Reb Meir, then I would think it starts all the way from the first of the month, so you have 9 days. Like we Ashkenazim do. 9 days. So I'm telling you that Allah is like Reb Shimon Gamliel. And if I would say that Allah is like Reb Shimon Gamliel, I would think it goes past the Shabbat. That Allah is like Reb Meir. It doesn't go past, it only goes up until. And that's l'chayra, I don't know for sure. Tomer, tell me if I'm wrong. That's what the Sfardim do. Shavua shechal boy. They don't have, and this is what they pass like Rava. That it seems from our Gemara that the Sfardim are in the right over here. The Ashkenazim are machmir like Reb Meir. Okay. Erev Tisha B'Av, huh? Different things. Yeah, we start Shavaz with that, different things. Not the same chumras though. Sfardim don't have any Shavaz with Tamas, nothing, 0. It means nothing. Huh? What? Yeah, you fast, but I'm saying in terms of music and this and that, all the haircuts, you don't stop here. Only the week of. Okay. Sometimes it's kedai to be Sephardi. But then, of course, they have the slichas, and then it wipes it all out. Yeah. That's why they say slichas, says Avigar Gir. Okay. Erev Tisha B'Av lo yochal adam shnei tavshilin. A person should not eat 2 cooked foods on Erev Tisha B'Av. Now, what exactly are 2 cooked foods? So there's a Taisus here. We can see inside a little bit if you want. We don't have that long of a daf, and tomorrow's a very short daf, so we have a little bit of room here. So Taisus different Mazel Erev Tisha B'Av, and not everybody agrees to Taisus. Machlokes Rishonim here on almost everything he says. He says, Pirush Shnei Tavshilin Rotzaloim B'Shdei Gderos. Says Taisus, let's say I have a chont, I have potatoes and meat. That's not 2 tavshilin because it's made in 1 pot. Not all the Rishonim agree with that. And then he goes on to say, what about tzvibel mit ayid or ayid mit tzvibel? You have what? You say tzvibel mit ayid. It depends. Some people say ayid mit tzvibel. It's a machlokes. Machlokes, the Litvaks, the Chassidim, whatever. Okay, but it's certainly ayid tzvibel. It's said like Chassidish. Fine. You have an egg that's cooked. You have onion, which it's much better when it's cooked, but let's say it's not cooked. Let's say it's raw. Is that considered 2 tavshilin? So Taisa says that anything all the way at the end, he says, he says no, it's not. Even if you do cook it, let's say you do cook the onion, but you could eat the onion raw. Let's say you have like a baked apple, an apple you could eat raw. So if you bake it, that doesn't make it cooked, says Taisvus. Whereas a potato, you can't eat it raw, so if you cook it, that's a cooked item. The last lines in Taisvus, don't pass him based on this, I'm just pointing out what Taisvus says. There's other Rishonim here, gvina, like milk and cheese, tapuchim, ebem toris bishul klalu klal, says Taisvus. Fine. Bishul akum, okay. Says the Gemara, so of course, anytime the Gemara talks about hours, we're not talking about hour clock, we're talking about shoyz maniyos, and that is you take from the morning to the evening and you divide the hours exactly equal, depending on the day of the year. Says Rabbi Yehuda that you're not allowed to eat past the 6th hour, past chatzos, midday. But this part of the day, you're allowed to have 2 tavshilim, French fries, chicken. It's okay. The salad, obviously, you're allowed to have because it's not a tavshil. Chicken. Yes. Yeah, I said chicken. Another halacha. We're talking about the meal, the sudam afsekes. And that's the meal that you say from here on out, I'm not going to eat anything. That's the only meal that's also. So if I have my chicken at 10 hours into the day, but I plan on doing a sudam afsekes, sitting on the floor with ashes and then bread or the dry bread an hour later, so I'm allowed to eat anything I want over here, says Refuah. If I just say sudam afsekes, I would think it means yes, you could eat this food, but it has to be up until midday. The only thing that's also to do is after 6 hours, and it's the sudam afsekes. You need 2 conditions. It has to be a certain time of the day, close to Tisha B'Av, and you have to say to yourself, I'm not going to eat anymore. But if you don't have those 2 conditions, even if it's past midday, but you're going to eat another meal afterwards, you're allowed to eat 2 tavshilin. Yeah, well, that we'll see soon. The fleshik is a chumrah. So we have a right to both ways. Hasoid erev Tisha B'Av im osed lisoid suuda acheres muter lecho basar v'lishtei siyayin. It says if you're eating erev Tisha B'Av, if you're going to eat another meal, you're going to get down on the floor and do what we call sudam afsekes. Why is that tzaddik standing? There's no room. 0 seats. Here, there's a seat right up here. Come, tzaddik. No need to stand. My own son, I don't know if this was excuse. Ami, was this excuse? He came last night. He said there's not a single seat in the house, and he went back home. He does the shir. What? He didn't go home. Oh, he didn't go home. He went to play ball. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. No, he said he went to play ball, but he came here though, right? He came for 5 minutes and his typing for basketball. Okay, we got him. If he's not going to eat another meal, a person shouldn't eat 2 different cooked meals. So it doesn't say anything about Sudam Sekes, not Sudam Sekes. Fine. You have to mix it up a little bit. You have to eat differently, Erev. You have to change it up. Omer Rav Yehuda, Kesem Mishana, what do you mean? If every day you eat, you have a main course and a side dish. If that's what you do, you have to eat less, something else. You should only eat 1. If you're a chashve guy, you're a rebbe, and all your chassidim sit around you, and you have 10 people. Yeah, Rashi says, not stam, you have 10 kids or whatever. They do it in your honor. You have to lessen your honors. It's Erev Tisha B'Av. Sorry, b'chamisha. This I love. He drinks 10 cups of wine. Try to limit it a little bit. Go to 5. And also, it's brought down. You have to also change where you sit. You have to be Mishana Makoimai. This is only here. So here it says over here, this is only from Sheishoy Sulamala. Aval Sheishoy Sulamata Mutar. Fine. What about Sudam of sex? Not so. No. It's the Isser is from 6 hours and on. Tanya Yidach, Erev Tisha B'Av lo yochal b'shnit avshilim lo yochal bas v'leish yayin. Divrei Meir. Erev Tisha B'Av, you shouldn't eat 2 different types of food, and therefore you shouldn't eat meat, and you shouldn't drink wine. Divrei Meir. Nacham Oimrim Yishana, you should change it up. Umemay bebasar v'yayin, he should eat less meat and less wine. Keitzam emayit. Imay rog alecha litra basar, if he eats a pound of meat, yochal chatzi litra, only a half. And if he doesn't drink wine, or he's a type of person that there's many people in Yisrael, they hardly ever eat meat, only Yom Tovim, so don't all of a sudden pull out your meat. Erev Tisha B'Av. If in the Gemara Tznoin, the Gemara says that Rebbe was so wealthy, he always had radish on his table. Radish. Or if he eats like a salty fish, like sardines or salty meat, then you're allowed to eat it. Tanya Yidach Kol Shu Mishum Tisha B'Av. Kol Shu Mishum Tisha B'Av. What does that mean? If it's a Suda Mafsekes, you're eating a Suda because of Tisha B'Av. Asur Lechol Basar V'Asur Lishtais Yayin V'Asur Lirchayz. You're not allowed to eat meat or wine at the Suda HaMafsekes, and you're not allowed to bathe. Kol Sheinu Mishum Tisha B'Av. Mutar Lechol Basar V'Lishtais Yayin V'Asur Lirchayz. So it's a shiloh over here. Asur, not Asur Lirchayz. Fine. Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yosi Yoim Mishum Aviv, Kol Shah Shumuta Lechol, and Rashi takes out the next word Basar. So does the Vilna Gaon. Not that okay, but it just has a big aleph here. Takes out the word Mutar Lirchayz. As long as you're allowed to eat, you're allowed to bathe, you're allowed to rinse. Anything that an avel who lost a loved one is noyeg. That is the loisa says, not the asays. Because there's certain things like sit on the floor and put this on your head and different things, flip the bed over, that you don't have to do on Tisha B'Av. Also ba'achila, flip the bed today is not noyig, but that's the halacha. Also ba'achila ubishtia, so what is he also? He's not allowed to eat, drink, besicha, b'nin sasando, v'tasha shamita. V'asur likrois, ba'toira, b'nevim miksum. Just like a avel. Some people don't know this, most do, but a avel is not allowed to learn Torah. There's certain things they're allowed to learn, the halachas of Avelos. Why can't you learn Torah? Because Torah brings joy and simcha. V'lishnois b'mishnah, b'talmud, b'medrash, b'halachas, b'agadois, all these things, midrashim, gemara, mishnah, avakayru b'makom she'en ragel likros. This is a very interesting halacha. If it's a sugya, basically it means shas for almost everybody. If it's a sugya you're not familiar with, you're allowed to learn it. Why? Because it's tough. And it's hard. And if it's hard, it's almost like a contradiction to what we know. Torah is supposed to be b'simcha. It gives us simcha. Oh, that's the next shita. You can learn Eon according to this, you're saying. We're talking about Tisha B'Av here. And he could learn from a place that he's not used to. Certain things that are terrible stuff in Ksuvim you're allowed to read. The children should not learn. Torah gives you simcha. So I saw the Taz says, very interesting. Why can't the child learn Torah on Tisha B'Av? So he says the reason is because the adult can't teach him. He doesn't have simcha learning Torah. What is he? He actually doesn't like learning Torah. It's too hard for him. So Reb Chaim Kanievsky comes along and says, but what if you see a child learning by himself? That means he's enjoying it, and that child is also for him to learn. And what? You see, all right. And by the way, women also, obviously, also for them to learn Torah. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, says Rabbi Yehuda, no, what are you talking about? Torah, at the end of the day, this sugi might be tough. But when you come up with the right pshat, it gives you simcha. And therefore, it's also to learn a sugi that you don't know. And you're not allowed to learn a place that you're not allowed to learn even a place that you're not used to. So, I saw the Tzirel brings down, what about learning Be'iyon, where it's really, really tough for you, on Shabbos? Is that a problem? It's hard. It's hard. Maybe on Shabbos you shouldn't do something that's hard. Huh? You think it's crazy, right? So the Tzirel says that it might be dependent on this machlokes. According to Rabbi Yehuda and Meir. According to Rabbi Meir, it might be a problem. Maybe you should. But listen to this: the Yavitz in a siddur. It's just my job. I'm not doing. Don't shoot the messenger. Says the Yavitz in the siddur that somebody that learns Iyun on Shabbos, he's Mechal Shabbos. This is the Yavitz in the siddur. Check it out. Talmud Chacham that learns Be'iyun, and the Chidah says Chas milahasker. He goes crazy, like mamish. How could you say such a thing? You can't even mention such a thing. I'm just saying in terms of Mikatza is like, I always remember the Chazon Ish. The Chazon Ish in his Igra says that the greatest Hana, Gashmi. In other words, not, I'm going to get Olam Haba and this and that. No, better than pizza, better than anything you could possibly imagine is learning Torah. In this world, Gashmi. If you know how to learn and you enjoy it, it is the greatest Hana. So all this doesn't really apply according to the Chazon Ish. Huh? What does he say? Same thing in the Egli time. No, a Gashman talking about. If my father was not Jewish, he would learn Torah all day. That's it. Like he just loves it. My mother she was coming out of surgery for pancreatic cancer, so we didn't bring food to the house. We didn't know what we were doing. We're like the whole mishpacha was crying and saying to him, and like they're going to tell us either she's going to live or die. She might not make it out of the surgery. And one of these things, like it's called the Whipple surgery. Nobody should know from Tsaras. It's an 8-hour surgery, and pancreatic cancer, anyways, is very, very tough cancer. It's only 2% survival rate. But the mishpach was and I saw my father in a different world. Once he opened up his Gemara, he was nervous, and once he opened up the Gemara, he just transported himself to another place. All right, weiter. Zog the Gemara. Tana. I said that. Avakaro be'iyah be'kinos b'dvar marom shebiyirma v'tinok shebisram v'teilim boy mishum shenemar pekudah shem mishar mesamchei leiv. Lo yochal basar l'ishta yayin. Tana ava lo yochalu basar maliach v'shoyse yayin migitoy. You're allowed to eat. So we're going to say what it is exactly. But salty meat. In other words, it's how do you say it in English? Like beef jerky. Something that you try to preserve it. Pickled meat. Very good. Let's call it pickled meat. Stop for demonstrative purposes. V'shoyse yayin megitoy. Wine right out of the press. In other words, fresh wine. Says Rashi, this fresh wine is terrible. It actually causes diarrhea and it destroys your body. Nobody wants to drink it. It's garbage. So you're allowed to drink such a wine. Basar meliach ad kama. Omer Rav Chinan bar Kahana b'Shmei Shmuel kol zman shlamim, whatever the gear says. The bottom line is, shlamim, you're allowed to eat the meat of a shlamim that day that you shecht it, that night, and the following day. So 2 days and a night. Past that, it's not considered basar anymore. It starts losing its flavor. it's consistent. It's not basar. So Mela, the same thing with the salty meat. As long as it's fermenting. Now listen to this. When it's fermenting, it's not really drinkable. So here's the. It's so bad that even a snake doesn't like it. There's no chashash that a snake is going to insert its venom into this wine, this grape juice. It's in between grape juice and wine. It's disgusting. So drink it. It's actually good for Tisha B'Av. It takes about 3 days to ferment. This was the minog of Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Loi, and this is what we do basically. It's brought down in Shulchan Aruch. Erev Tisha B'Av mevim loy pas chareva. I don't know if we're makbid on this part, but dry bread. And bro, I saw in the Mishnah Berurah, he says, but eat a lot of it. I mean, you're going to fast, so don't be a machmer, just eat a piece. If this is your meal, make it a meal. Eat a lot of bread, but dry. V'yoyshe Daf Lamed Amud Beis b'melach in salt. V'yoyshev bein tanur likirayim v'oichel. It's beautiful. You know why? This is a tanur. This is a kirayim. Now, if you think about it, and Baruch Hashem, it just happened to me now in Hanukkah. It happened last year for the first time, and this year also. I light outside in one of those boxes. Everybody in Israel, box. So it happened on the final day this year and last year, and happened to my neighbor also. Since it's so hot, and there's 9 candles in there, it just burns out everything. The glass turns black. Everything is black. The suit. And you try to touch it. It's the most disgusting thing ever. It sticks to your fingers. It never comes off. I did a trick. I was walking with Yeshua. I said, do me a favor, grab that thing. It wasn't like that. I didn't say a word, but he grabbed it. And of course, he grabs it by the glass. It was terrible. He's sitting there. I told him, oh, he never. He said, no, come on. I said, it doesn't come off. He's sitting there in my sink for like half an hour. I got the whole sink black, of course. Fine. Why am I saying this? This is the most disgusting part of your house. Right next to the Tanur V'Kirayim. That little suit that I had in my menorah, that's exactly what you have here. They didn't have gas. They took their wood and they burnt the kirayim. So if you sit over there, Hashem Yirach, what's going to happen? It's just black and terrible. Go to Chaim Kanievsky's house. Look at his wall right above the Leichter. You know what I'm talking about? Although I think now they put a piece of metal, just a black wall. For years of just burning the thing. That's what their houses look like. So Mela, he would sit right over there in a terrible place, dirty. V'shoisa alel kitain shamayim, and drink a lot of water. V'doime kimisha meisei mutu lefonav. This is how a person that's in a tremendous amount of tsar for losing a loved one would sit on the floor. I think we put ashes on our head, but that's the Sudam Afsekis. Not also if people go to work and they work on Tisha B'Av, you can do it. Sponsored by Aaron Stroock in honor of my parents Josh and Naomi Stroock. Aaron ben Shimon HaKoane. First Yod Zayin is Chav Tevis. Sponsored anonymously as a Zchus for Shidduchim for my siblings and myself. Wow. Remind me tomorrow. So Magam Shenagim Shalei Lashes. In a place there's a minhag not to work, you don't work. But regardless where you live, even if people go to work on Tisha B'Av, there are people in America that go to work on Tisha B'Av. Tamid Chachamim b'Teilim. In Eretz Yisrael, I don't think anybody goes to work, right? It's not a thing. But Tamid Chachamim b'Teilim. But not going to repeat what he said. He said it's all But any place that even in America, Tamid Chachamim don't go to work on Tisha B'Av. Now, if you're familiar with the sugya in brachas, if you started 2 years ago with us in brachas, the famous sugya, could a chasen, where we say a chasen should say Kriya Shema because it's not mechaven, could a chasen be makbid and not say Kriya Shema? That was the sugya. We said no, it's gaiva. Why? Because everybody's saying Kriya Shema and he's not saying Kriya Shema. But then the Gemara brings this sugya about Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av, everybody's going to work, and you want to be like a Talmid Chacham and not go to work. No. Because a lot of people don't have jobs, unfortunately. So just because you didn't go to work doesn't mean that you're trying to be like a Talmid Chacham. So in Mela, that's Shittas Reb Shimon Gamliel, you're allowed to not go to work on Tisha B'Av. Maybe you lost your job. There's no URL. Besides, he says, when it comes to something like this, that he's in a lot of pain, he's not earning his salary, then there's no URL with that. There's no URL where you inflict pain on yourself. We had it also. No, then we have the infliction of pain. There's no URL. Like tsar of the guf. I'm just coming up now. In this Masech, of course. No, Leiby. Where's Leiby? He's not here today. Levi, you're sitting in a seat. No. What daf is it? You know what I'm talking about? No, there's a sugya that if you inflict pain, there's no. Archcore brings it? Amud Beis. What does it say over there? No, let's hear. Oh, Amud Beis. The fish ain't sheva chuloi elatzar. Givaldik. Okay, I had no idea it was on Amud Aleph, Amud Beis, no clue. Baruch Hashem, I remember the Masech at least. What was it? 20 days ago. Mamish 20 days ago. Chazara, Rabbi say Chazara. If you eat, so remember this please, because we're going to have a similar halacha soon. If you eat and drink on Yom Kippur, on Tisha B'Av, sorry, it's ki'ilu, you ate and drank on Yom Kippur. Doesn't say in the Torah you can't eat and drink on Tisha B'Av, but if you do so, it's ki'ilu. If you take that money that you made, so you say, look, I got to go to work today. I'm going to earn $20,000. I'm going to miss nothing. Your $20,000 is worthless. You're going to take that $20,000 and eventually you're going to spend it on your car, on a transmission, whatever it is. It's garnished. It's mamish ein roisim bracha loylam. It's not a loss if you don't go to work. You're not going to see anything, says Rabbi Akiva. If you go to work and you forget to mourn the aveilus of Yerushalayim and Aroya b'simchasa, you won't be zoicha, unfortunately, to see the simcha of the Binyamin Beis Hamikdash. Shenemar simchu is Yerushalayim v'gilu bo kol ha'avel. All the people, the beloved, sisu ita, be happy with him. Masois kol misablim olah. You have to be misablim olah. You have to be the part of the misablim. You can't be yotzim in a klal. Mikan omru kol misablim Yerushalayim zoicha v'aroya b'simchasa. If you mourn for Yerushalayim, you will see in its simcha v'sheini misabel Yerushalayim einoi roya b'simchasa. Tani nami achi kol oichel basa b'shoyse yayin b'tisha b'av olav hakasav oimer v'tiyave noisam al atzmoisam. Question. It says over here, if you eat meat and wine on Tisha B'av, it's a terrible thing. They're going to inscribe this avera on your bone. But it's only meat and wine. What if you eat pizza on Tisha B'av? Is it a problem? Don't all answer me together. It's a very, very simple answer. What? It says, if you eat meat or drink wine on Tisha B'av, it's a terrible, terrible avera. Oh, says Nachman Seltzer, Reb Nachman, that we're not talking about Tisha B'av. That's why you have to say that the pshat over here, I'm just asking the question so we know pshat. We were not talking, if you eat on Tisha B'av, we said before, if you eat on Tisha B'av, it's as if you ate on Yom Kippur. So then why does the Gemara say if you ate meat, you're a terrible person? Even if you ate potato chips, you're a terrible person. The answer is we're not talking about Tisha B'av. Tisha B'av is talking about the Sudam of Sekes. Then you're a bad guy. I'm just explaining how does Rashi know that we're talking about Erev Tisha B'av? Because it's muchach from within the Gemara. It can't be talking about Tisha B'av. Otherwise the Gemara wouldn't say Basav Yayin. So again, Nachama, what? Except for Shabbos or Shabbos itself. If they were doicha Tisha B'av to Sunday, you're allowed to eat a Suda Shleima Melch B'Shaita. Rabbi Yehuda said we have to flip the bed over. In other words, we must sleep on the floor. Well, it's not a isser that shavel chol nefesh. What about a pregnant woman and a nursing woman? They can't sleep on the floor. Impossible. There's certain things that you have to fast on Tisha B'av. If she's pregnant, she can't fast. She won't fast. You have to sleep on the floor. She can't. She can't. I'm talking about people that are able. So Umay benayu. So these are different chachamim, or maybe not. They say, so review this moedah to chachamim, that if a person can't, obviously he can't. She can't, she'll just sleep on a regular bed. Umay chachamim review, they'll be yachal. And chachamim say to review that if a person is able to, and it's not a big deal, like, I kid you not, you can train yourself, no problem. How do I know this? Because my chavrusa, and Mendy's chavrusa, he brings his kids to koil sometimes, and they lay out on the floor, no problem. In fact, I probably said this 10 times. One of his kids fell asleep at the entrance to Pnei Shmuel. And you're talking about a koil with 150 people. And people are stepping over it, no problem. Straight, on the floor, on hard thing. He told me, if you don't spoil them, they sleep on the floor, and get used to it. I was learning with him now on Friday, no problem, on the floor. I have pictures. So I guess adults also, if you get used to it. Not that they don't have beds, they prefer the floor. Maybe the floor is more comfortable than the beds. I don't know, whatever. Anybody want to donate? Fine. Do you have to flip over all the other beds in the house? Well, Aval has to. Not anymore. You should flip over all the beds. We're just going to finish right over here. The halacha is like our Tana. In other words, Rav is learning Pshat Chachamim and Rebbe. The what? That the halacha is, the Pshat in the sugi is, the Chachamim don't admit that if you could, you have to be on a bed. Even if you could, I'm on the floor. Even if you could, you sleep on a bed on Tisha B'Av. Whereas Rebbe says, you sleep on the floor. That is the machlokes. Have a wonderful day. Go out. Tomorrow night is the seal. Yeah.